There we go. Okay, so let's. I don't know if I can share my screen actually. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can share this one. There we go. So these are my notes. I guess can we move it a little bigger? There we go. That should be somewhat of that nature. And these are some of my notes in regards to the Tank 3 Pro and the Tank 4. Now, in regards of routing the phone, here we go. There's some of the details here. Now, the first thing, of course, you need to be in the mobile, have it turned on. And I guess I can show, well, I guess we have, okay. So we have a mobile here. This is the Tank 4, which I'm still toying around with. And this one that I have here is apparently very, tends to, I don't know, maybe I can get a bit some glue so it don't turn around like this, like the others that I have. But anyway, it's very annoying that it turns around. But anyway, you go in here, you go into settings. Well, you usually have a button in regards to settings. You can also just move down here and you have a button down right there in regards to settings. So you get into settings, the setting menu, and from there, maybe we get it just here. If I can get some light, a little, come on, and let's see. I have some small lights here. See if we can find if I can find the end of this. Great. Would be nice for some turn off, turn on plugs for this. Okay. Well, at least that's helpful, giving a little. Well, of course, I could use the mobile as well. The Tank 4, Tank 3. Yeah. See here. I've, by the way, fixed some plastic, a filter fixed on and all that, so it's not so wide. So this is the Tank 3. There we go. Let's get some. There we go. Set it over here to see a little more to the right here, so it's not in the. There we go. Maybe a little more, like something of that nature. So that's the Tank 3, and this is the Tank 4, and that's it's like woo. It's just that it's like I need to see if I can get some glue and see if that actually sorts it out, because this weird thing, it's too smooth as well. But anyway, you get into settings, and then you go down to the bottom, and you have like about phone right there, and you push it. Then you get to the bottom again. You have a build number, Tank 4 Pro or Tank 3 or whatever. You push it 7 times. Then it will say, you are a developer and so forward. Then you go back. You go into system. That's also at the bottom. System. And then you go to developer options at the bottom. Then you have this long menu of things. And you find the one that is called OEM unlocking. And you push that. And then you go down and find the one called USB debugging, and you turn that on as well. And then you go back. Then you have fixed that. So the mobile is ready to get the bootloader opened up at the very least, but you still need a secondary, device. You need either on your mobile, you can get something called. That's a good question. Let's see here. Something called Buck Jaeger has this weird icon in it. Here, this little thing here in the middle. Buck Jaeger. That's a tool you can use. You can use one mobile to the other mobile, and then use some of the commands. I used it years ago and all that. For that, it was working and all that. That's some ads and all that, disgustingly and all that, but it was working. Another way is to install ADB and fast boot on your Linux or Windows computer. You need to do that. I'm not going to show that, I think, but you need to get the ADL, or I might have the codes for the Linux Let's see here if we can. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. So, oh well, okay. It only shows the screen with my. Okay, yeah. Well, we should have. So settings, about phone, build number. You push 7 times. Back system, developer options, OEM unlocking, USB debugging. So you turn on OEM unlocking, USB debugging, and then you need to install ADB or fast boot. Well, fast boot as well. Both of them. I think they come in the same package pretty much. When you install ADB, I think you install fast boot and so forth. Um, so let's see if I can actually. There was a way on. Well, you should on Linux. If you go into the installation of things and search on ADB, you should be able to find it and just push it and make it install. And then you should be able to use it. Then you connect from the computer. You connect to the mobile, and then you write ADB in the terminal. You open the terminal, says ADB reboot bootloader. If it's connected, have connection to it. On the mobile, it will say, do you want to give access to this source and all that? And you absolutely do want to get access or get access to that source, or give, sorry. And then you say, let's see here, reboot to bootloader, okay, or by recovery to boot. Okay, that's in regards of on the mobile itself. The tank tree. If you turn it off, if you turn off the phone, can be done on the tank tree as well. So what you're going to do if you want to get into the recovery by the bootloader, if you want to get into the bootloader by the recovery, you push the up button on the volume here and the turn on volume over here, and you push them at the same time after it's closed down, it's turned off and all that. You wait around 7 seconds and you should feel a little buzz. When you feel that, you take this finger off the primary key of turn on and move it away, slide it away, take it away, and all that. And then you just keep on holding on to the volume up. And you do that until you see a screen that is still not coming on, but it comes with a screen. We'll see here. Just keep on holding that. You see a screen like this, and maybe I should actually just turn off stop sharing just for the moment here. So what you see is this kind of a screen here. I guess the quality is still not good, but you see a little guy, in regards to the, robot thing, and this is very annoying. Like, okay, we'll turn this. This is so yeah. Anyway, then you push, turn on, and volume. So first you push the turn on, and then you push the volume up, and that makes it go into that. So, and you can also, I think you can actually go back. How's actually That's a way where you could actually go back, but I can't remember. Oh, there you go. If you push it again, you go back to that weird thing where it says no command. So what you do is like, boom, there you go. You push this one, and regards now, just remember, like, turn on, boom. Oh no, apparently I did something to restart it. So and then you can go into the bootloader with that. Now, when you're in the bootloader, or maybe I actually pushed it into the bootloader or something like that. We actually might be in the bootloader. Yeah. The bootloader will just look like something like this. It won't do anything. It will just stand there. It won't tell you that you're actually in the bootloader or anything like that. But let me just redo things here. I'll just turn it off just to be totally sure that we're actually in the bootloader. But I think we're in the bootloader. But that's a way to do it. But you still need the computer to unlock the bootloader or another mobile outside, because this bullshit game that they do with us, it's disgusting. But that's how it is these days. Um, Rooting a phone can take, I guess if you know the steps, it can take around an hour to do, a little less than an hour. I made a mistake last time, but it was a little less than an hour to do all the steps to flash. You can, if you have the right tools, you can also flash the tank tree. So if you do something that ruins it and all that, you can recover it by totally flashing the phone. So you can downgrade and upgrade and all that if you have the right tools. Although I only have the tools for Windows, not Linux. There should be a way to do it on Linux as well. I just don't have the tools. And many times you need the right tools and the right drivers and all that to do it, because they make it as difficult as possible to not have us, the users, being able to do with what we want with the mobiles. And it's only getting worse and worse and worse. Which, by the way, is another issue. The Tank 4 Pro cannot be flashed with Magisk. So I found another way to do it. I tried multiple ways in regards to Magisk. I couldn't get it working. At least I tried two different systems, Android 15 and 14, and I couldn't get it working. So it's so you need to do it in another way. Now, okay, let's try to see here if we can get into. So we push the turn on button and the volume up, and we just sit here. And as you can see, I also have put some filter on this one as well. I filter on both. Although put one of them is probably too much of a filter. Okay, it didn't really do anything. Okay, we'll try again. Turn on and volume up at the same time. Again, this is the bullshit game of these. To play around with all the rubbish. Okay, see, there we go. I felt it's a very very small. It's a very very small. Just a little very 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 small faint. Yeah. But you should be able to feel it. When you feel it, you just let go of the turn on volume. Sorry, turn on, and then you just keep on holding on to the volume. I have difficulty in regards to speaking, so you just hold it on until you get to that screen with the dead Android, or the Android at the operation table, or whatever. Apparently, it didn't do anything. We'll try one more time. This is the nonsense of these phones, these puzzle pieces. No one needs a puzzle piece anymore. They just need an Android phone, and they have all the puzzle pieces they ever need in regards to solving puzzles. There we go. Filled it again. We'll just hold on. There we go. It goes into it's a little hard when I'm fixing the finger here, and yeah, I can't really, need to keep the finger on here. Maybe I should have turned it around. But anyway, here we go. And then you push the turn on and up, turn on, up, boom, and you're in there. So, oh no, apparently I pushed something. Okay, I guess I'll try again. Okay, let's try to do it so we can see it as well. So, okay, well, first turn off the phone. So this is the turn on button. I'll just turn it off here. Turn off, turn on. There we go. Did we turn off? Okay, it's turned off. Okay. So what we do? Oh, cut me a break. Apparently, it's just turn off. There we go. Okay. So I have the turn on over here. We have the volume up. What in the world? Why is it starting? Didn't push anything. At least I didn't click it. So I don't know if it's actually maybe it's regards to the sensor or something like that. So okay, apparently we shouldn't have the finger on it, at least while we are. I don't know. See, maybe it's just too sensitive. I didn't push it. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't push it. I just had the finger on it, and apparently that made it. What in the world? Are you kidding me? I don't know why it's turning on the phone here. It should turn it off, not turn it on. Anyway, this is the stupidity of Android phones and all that, and you just keep on going with the stupidity. But anyway, while it's doing whatever it's doing, I'm not sure what it's doing actually. Just seeing that I have the filter. You can fix a filter here. You can just take a standard paper, you put it on, you fix a nail around on the paper around here, so you get this thing, and then you can take a pencil while you're at here, and you take the pencil and you fix the pencil all around, a sharp pencil or whatever, so you get this outline here, and you can use that then to put on the filter, and then you clip it out and then you put it on, and there you have a pretty good but you can get these filters with glue behind them, or what do you call it, stickers. You can also get them without stickery thing, but then you would need to yeah, I turned it on, but then you need to some kind of sticker thing, which I haven't found where you can buy and all that, but I guess you should be able to buy it somewhere that is made for these. But because I do have a lot of other things that actually I think is better, filters, that, as far as I recall, like better in regards of of the the filter in itself, but it doesn't have the sticker thing. These have the sticker on it, so that's just much easier. But I found out that the stickering thing is actually put, it seems like they put on them, so there's two layers, so you should be able to get it. Anyway, let's get it on. We push the turn on and the volume button at the same time, and then we wait when it was done. Okay, and we wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. We move the finger away from the turn on, and we just wait and wait as it goes. The waiting game of the madness of this world of insanity, and then nothing happens apparently. Uh, I it's like you can't expect anything to work on Android. There's so much bullshit. Why is it not working? Come on. Okay, we'll try again, and we'll just turn me around then. Okay. Oh, that works. Hello. We get a little closer. Intimacy. We move the finger away. We still push the volume up button, and then whoa, something happened. And then you just keep on turning on that. You just keep the finger on the volume up button, and come on, come on. There we go. And then you push the volume. You release both fingers here. Then you push the turn on and the volume up. So first the turn on, and then after you push that, you also push the volume up, and boom, there you are. Now here you can see reboot system now, reboot to bootloader, enter fast boost, apply update from ADB, and apply update from SD card, wipe data, factory reset, mount system. You have options in here. But what you want to do, of course, is to reboot to bootloader. So you push that. That's the turn on off button over here. So you use the volumes to move up and down, and then you push the volume. Oh, sorry, you push the turn on to go in there, and boom! Now we are in the bootloader. Yeah, why have any screen actually saying it's the bootloader, right? I need to glue that nonsense. Anyway, I really need to see if I can fix that issue. I'll buy a better one in regards of these. Like, I don't know why it's bad quality. Apparently, it's just why they didn't think about that. But the other versions I have did actually think about that. Apparently, so as you can see, it just looks like a standard screen. You don't even know it's a bootloader, but it's the bootloader. And then you need to plug in a cable at the bottom, of course, in the USB-C, and do it from the computer or the mobile where you have that Bach Jaeger application. And of course, you have to have sections in regards of between the two mobiles and all that, and the device and all that. Well, I guess so. You use fast boot. You use the command of fast boot then, and when you do that, let's see if we can turn on the screen again here. Turn on the screen. Oh, there we go. So let's see here. Developer options, OMM. Yeah. So you use either the ADB reboot bootloader in terminal, or terminal, I could say. Terminal, or what do you call that? By a recovery to bootload, like that would be by the mobile physical object mobile into recovery to bootload. Okay, there we go. Or let's see here. Or yeah, okay. Mobile into recovery and then to bootloader into bootloader. Okay, so fast boot flashing. This is the command you put in uh, on the computer or the mobile in regards to Bug Jaeger. I'm not sure if Bug Jaeger, what command and this and that. I guess you can write. I can't remember so much in regards of it. You should be able to use the Bug Jaeger if you don't have a computer, Windows or Linux or anything like that, and the ADB and the but you still need it to flash the boot and all that. So at some point you need ADB and fast boot and all that. So you need to install it at some point. But I guess Bug Jaeger could do the same as well. If you have a mobile that you don't use, I guess you could use that mobile for specific things like this, maybe, and just have that working with it, have it ready for whatever. Anyway, fast boot, flashing, unlock. That's the command. Now, when you put that in, you have 5 seconds, and it's very, very small on the mobile, but you have 5 seconds to push the volume up. Now, when you push the volume up after saying fast boot, flashing, unlock, it will unlock the. Oh, by the way, before you do it, you will lose all the data on the mobile when you do it. Okay. So it doesn't matter. You could fix things as I did last time. I was like installing some things, thinking ahead and all that, But I wasn't really thinking ahead. Well, I was, but I forgot that it's actually deleting all the information on the mobile, which is actually also the way that I lost all my video and images and all that when Google locked our data into jail, which is also the reason why I won't use a mobile that is not unlocked, because you don't have access to your information, your application information. But anyway, so just remember if you have anything on the mobile and all that, just save whatever you need from the mobile and then do the fast boot, flashing, unlock, and then when it counts down 5 seconds, and you need in 5 seconds you need to push up. Now, all the information it talks about is very hard to read because it's so small, smaller on the tank 4 than the tank 3, and you only have 5 seconds. So if you want to see it, I would advise you to take a camera or something like that to take a screenshot, of it by the mobile or the other mobile, or camera photo thing. Zoom in, take a camera, if you don't push anything, it doesn't matter. It doesn't unlock the phone. So you can just fix it and take a screenshot and then read what it says and then do it again in regards of fast boot, flashing, unlock, and then push up if you agree to the. But just remember, everything will be deleted from the phone. You will have to refix all the things when it turns on and all that. So thinking ahead in regards to this doesn't really work as I did last time. Because I just needed to redo it all over again. All the things that I'd done that I thought was thinking ahead on the mobile just vanished. So when that is done, you can say yippee yippee yay! The bootloader is unlocked. So if you now at that point go into the, see if I can turn this off and turn it on. Let's see if I can stop sharing here. So I'll just turn this off here. Yeah, 24 minutes already in regards of it, Takes, and we didn't even get into in regards of installing ADB or fastboot. Besides, again, Linux. Well, actually, I can't really. I need to share the whole screen. Can I share the entire screen? There we go. Let's just share it. So what you do in Linux, for example, you can go into Synaptic Package Manager, and we'll go in here. And what you do is like search on ADB, and you have ADB right there, Android Debug Bridge, apparently it stands for, and you install that package, and it should have everything as far as I recall, as far as I recall. Apparently my screen is not totally, is it? I don't think it. I have the right resolution on the screen. Apparently, totally. Anyway, it seems to be a little cut off. Oh well. Anyway, but that's how you do it on Linux. You can also actually I was charging this device actually from 0 to 100, and I kind of want to exercise it in the beginning in regards to the battery. I guess that was kind of, oh well. I guess I'll do it after, whatever. Charge it to 100%. Um, so if you go into the mobile, oh, by the way, can I just turn that off again? So if you go into the mobile, you go into settings. I have a button like settings right here. Maybe I can, maybe if I turn this down, maybe it's easier to see. I don't know. But anyway, that's not really. Let's see, there it goes. Try around there. Okay. So what you can do, if you usually have a button that is called settings right there, in the menu thing, or you can just go the other way around where you go down here and the settings is at the bottom here, small button. Anyway, if you go into system at the bottom and then developer option at the bottom and find the OEM unlocking, you can see the OEM locking is now phrased out because it says bootloader is already unlocked. So now the bootloader is unlocked, and yippee yippee yay, we're so very happy, 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 right? Anyway, that's the first step of this. This is the first step of rooting your phone. The next step took a lot longer for me to figure out because I could not install Magisk on the Tank tree. I have Magisk installed now. It's like here. So it's really hard. Let's see if we can turn that down. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, that's a little better. So let's see here yeah, here we go. You can see I have Magisk over, well, apparently the other side right there. So Magisk, let's see here. There we go. I have Magisk installed right here. As you can see at the top, Magisk 29 and so forward. So that is installed on the Tank tree. So you can install Magisk on the Tank tree, but you cannot install Magisk on the Tank 4. Because apparently that's a RAM disk that Magisk is using, which apparently even if it's the same Android version, Android 14, on the Tank 4, even if the Tank 4 has the same Android 14 in the European version, the RAM disk is not there. The system of Android is fixed differently on this. So on the Tank 4. So that's the Tank 4 is the one with the yellow, thing. And the Tank 3 is the one with the gray, bluish thing that is turned on here in regards to this. The blue thing here, I have a blue. And I took the filter off so you can see like the differences between the two filters. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but you can see this is much more, I took two filters to make like a double thing, but that seemed to be too much, and I guess the other one seems to maybe be too little to reach a smaller Kelvin. Let's see here what we get here. Yeah, it's still pretty yellow, white. It doesn't look so yellowish. Of course, it's better than the standard, right? Where it's totally white. Let's try the other one here. Yeah, you can see it's much more. You can see this is much more soft. This one is bright. It's like incredible how much difference there actually is in regards of the this one you can clearly see it's yellow. This one looks white. That's so I think a filter, like if you took like there's three different filters in the package that I have in regards to it. Like you can actually see the package here. This is the package that I bought from Germany, Amazon. Warm LED far filter set. There's probably others and all that. But anyway, you get three filters and there's stickers on it. Also have some other package, but they don't have the sticker on it. This is the other one, LED filters, warm LED filters, lightning pack, where you can test things out and all that. But the problem is there's no glue on this. There's no stickers. They're just filters. They're just like different filters like this, but there's no sticker on it. Oh, sticker on it. You can take the filter here and you can test it with different. And that's a good thing, I guess, with these where there's no stickers on it, is that you can test it. But there must be some sticker thing for it as well. And I think it's only one of the sides that actually has the filter thing. I actually found out when I did some gasoline or something like that and tried to wipe it out, and found out actually the filter is just fixed on a plastic thing. Or so it's not plastic itself that is the color. The filtering thing is put on the plastic. I know it's just stupid. I think it's stupid, but anyway, I guess it's the cheaper option or whatever, because it doesn't make any sense that you all of a sudden or you would need some kind of on top of it just to protect it or something like that if you want to wipe it out, with some and clean it or whatever. But anyway, as you can see, there's a difference. This is the new one. This is the tank 4. Sorry, yeah, tank 4, and this is the tank 3. So but yeah, it seems to be too whitish, and this one has two of the half filters because I didn't have a full filter. So has two of them that should actually make one, one big one. And this one has just one of them on, one half filter. So it's still more yellowish than the standard phone, than the standard Tank 3 phone, But again, it's really, really white still, It's really, really, really white. I had the one that was even softer than this, and that was way too soft. And this one is still seemingly way too soft. But I think if you took the softest filter, the softest filter here, over here, there, and this one, and put them together, maybe you would get the effect I want in regards of, not too white, not too yellowish. This one seems too yellowish, and the other one seems too white. I would like to have kind of a this one seems too white, this one seems too yellow, but maybe it's not too bad in regards of the. But it seems to be more than 2700 Kelvin, So, but I guess it's not bad in the night because it helps you to want to sleep and all that. So maybe it's not too bad, Whatever. But yeah, I would probably just, if I had a filter of the weak ones, try to put that on and see if that would have given the effect I want. But of course, you can play around with that as well. Although you don't get, you just get a small pieces, 3 pieces or so, where you can. But usually, it's more than enough than what you need, pretty much. Anyway, let's get back to things. Okay, let's put this over here. Um, and let's see here. So where did we go? Okay, so the Tank 3, you can root it with Magisk still. I have the newest version installed on the Tank 3, and no problems in regards of installing Magisk on any of the ones that I've tried. But on the Tank 4, you hit into a problem. Whether you use Android 14 or 15, you hit into a problem. And again, if you install Android 15 by mistake, or maybe just want to test it out, you would need to be able to flash the mobile, because you can only go upward in regards to updating so if you want to go lower, you need to be able to flash and totally reset the mobile. So, but I've done that and all that. I've had Android 15 installed on this, and now I have Android 14 installed on it. So it's working in regards to the way that I have. But you have to have the specific tools to do it. And yeah, I should probably fix a thing in regards up, but that it's just so much, just insanity. Okay. So let's see here. So now that you have opened the boot, what you want to find. This took me some time to figure out. You want to install something that is called kernel SU. Now I'll show you where to get it because it can be a little difficult in regards of figuring that out. Not in regards to the website, but in regards of what is going on in regards of where to download it. So you go over here, you search on kernel SU. Now that should get you to the website or something like that. Well, I guess we have the. Well, let's just go into that website first. Kernelsu.org. So this is their website, and what you do is say get started, or you could probably also just go directly to the GitHub and all that. But go into get started. That's the way I pretty much did it. And then you go into how to use kernel SU installation. Then you push the GitHub releases. Now they have a Telegram channel, but they banned me pretty quickly. So I think that I get banned from every place pretty much, or most places. So I did find some other places on Telegram that actually had some helpful people and all that. Well, at least one. See Telegram here. But as far as I recall, they actually have their own channel, but just didn't really wasn't really they banned me from it. So the Tank channel has banned me as well. So on Telegram, I think that was a main Tank group, but maybe I should make my own Tank group actually. Maybe that would be yeah, the way to do it. Probably should do that maybe. Then you guys could come in and if you need any, anyway. Kernel, here we go. Kernel SU. Let's see it. That's the one you want to get, and you want to get it. You can download it on your mobile, although it can be a little hard when you have a small screen and all that. But kernel SU 10512 blah 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 blah. You push on that, and that's the one you want to download. That's the one you want to get. Like all these zip files and all that, don't care about those. I don't know why they wouldn't make like another GitHub for these things because it was very very hard to find. Um, you know, I didn't really know what to do in regards to all the zip files and this and that. But what you want to get is the kernel SU version 105 APK. Now this is a little like Magisk. So if you root it with Magisk, it will be a little of the same. What you do is install the kernel SU on your mobile. And let's see if we can get back here. And here. So what you do is install like Magisk. You install it and you have it right there. Now this is the kernel SU, and this is rooted, as you can see. It says working version 12081, username and modules tree and all that. Kernel, manager, fingerprint, whatever. So after the thing is, you do the same as Magisk, pretty much. It If you push on the top, let's see here, it should do the same thing as last time. If you push on the top, it will say something different. It will pretty much guide you to that top pictures. It doesn't have the menus at the bottom either when you haven't rooted the phone. So you push the top thing here that is saying something different than mine, but it goes to the same menu, and it will have this settings. The top setting in regards of select a file. Init boot partition image is recommended. So apparently you can use either the boot image or the init boot image. Now they suggest the init boot partition, so that's what I've used. Usually when I boot Magisk, you would use the boot image. Now the image that you need for this, you need from um, you need from the website from there. So you want the version you have on the phone, and I've talked to I've talked to I talked to the people about releasing the version. They released the Flash version of the system, because I couldn't really do, that was also one of my problems. That's why I actually updated to Android 15, because they had an image for Android 15 for the Tank 4 Pro, but they did it, but that was a non-EU version. I installed the non-EU version. There wasn't really any problems. I couldn't see any difference. I didn't test if it connected or anything like that. I think it would have worked, but I just used at the moment. I still have the SIM card over in the Tank 3 and all that. Um, but everything looked pretty good. Doesn't besides the new Android 15 nonsense, refixing the wheel as it goes. It's very annoying. Um, but yeah, okay, as it goes usually, right? The rubbish of the madness of things. So, but anyway, so now the Android 14 version is there, and let's see if I can show you that. So when you go in here, well, we'll just show the screen here again. Entire screen, show screen share. So what we're going to do is go into my notes here, and I should probably, copy paste all these notes for you guys. Not all of the notes are, it's just everything. But here we have the tank route guides, some links to different guides that I've used and all that. The Magisk thing cannot really be, I guess, used, because you don't use Magisk anymore. And I guess I would probably stop using Magisk on both phones now, because I'd rather have just one thing. But I don't know. Um, Maybe not, but it's easier to use just one application than multiple applications. But whatever, I guess it is what it is at the moment. At the moment, I have Magisk on one device, and the kernel issue on the other device. But what you do is try to find the link that I'm trying to find here. Okay, here we go. So official ROM flashing file software OTA over the air images. What's that other thing that was called something that we looked into? I can't remember. That was some small word that meant something. That was whatever. But anyway, you have the OTA files that's over the air. That's what you use to updating. Then you have the flash that you use to flash. But the thing is, the files that you need is in the OTA, but it's also in the firmware. But the OTA, you need another application to open up a specific file, because they are fixed into them. Let's see if I can show you. Unihertz here. So we have Android 14. Maybe you can actually also make it a little bigger so you guys can maybe see something. So we have A14 stand for Android 14, EEA stands for the European version, 2025, F stands for A, B, C, D, E, F. That's six, I think. So 25, 6, 10, So if you go in here, this is the image you want, but it's called something a little different. I renamed the things a little. So in here, you have all the files. That's the firmware image. Oh, sorry, zip file that is unpacked. And in here, you find the init boot image, 8 MB, and you also have the boot image that would be 64 megabyte in this. So either boot image or in regards of the init boot. Now they say that you should use init boot. Well, that's what I've used, and init boot is working. I think boot would probably also work as well. But there you go. But you get the zip file, you unpack it, you extract this thing inside the zip file, and then you should be able to find the file. They don't have the OTA version of the Android 14 anyway up. So as far as I know, so you can only do the you can only get one of the files. But anyway, let's see, a software firmware, you copy the drive, Google, blah 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 blah, all this thing here, and you put it up in this, and you push. Then you go into then you get into the thing here, and you go down. Let's take the mouse here. You go down to Tang 4 Pro and European Union EEA and Android 14, and there you go with the zip, and you just download that file. That's the file you want, and also check that that this is the system you have on. It should be the system that you have on. If not, then just well, you could update it, or but I think this is the one that the mobiles are released in regards to this specific version. So you could check that if it's the correct, but it should be, it should pretty much be the same version. So yeah, so there you go, and you just take that boot thing, that what was it called? The init boot image. You can copy both of them if you want, but you copy those files, you move them over to your mobile, and then we get back to the mobile here. Now, in regards to moving them back and forward, in regards to from the mobile to the computer, you can use a micro SD card. Just be aware that micro SD cards have a way of corrupting, sadly. There's also a way where you can use the ADB or fastboot to move files from one place to the other. I'm not totally so solid on those things and all that, but it's a possibility as well. But the easier way would, I guess, be to just use a micro SD card, move the files over to a micro SD card, and move it over to the mobile. And but you will probably struggle with some corruptions of the micro SD card. Just be careful. Use use the systems in regards of ejecting the card and all that, because memory SD cards corrupt so easily, and you might have some really toying around with that, and waste of time and all that. Very annoying. Hopefully, you don't get too much issues or hassles in regards to that. But anyway, you want those image files, um, that you get from. You could also unpack that file on the mobile. So if you downloaded the file in here from your mobile, you can just, but it's still 3.09 gigabyte, but you could download it with your mobile, I guess, and then unpack it on your mobile, and then you have it already on your mobile. That's another way to do it. Yeah. So, but then afterwards, you still need to fix it over to the computer. Actually, I guess I could actually, but they say it might be a smart thing that you do it yourself. So I could, I could have put a patch version, but that might be something in regards to Android that has some different number with your mobile or something. Like Google, Google is insane in regards of all the security bullshit, to make it difficult for us. Anyway, let's get back to the mobile here. Let's see if we can get back here. Stop sharing. So what you do when you have that specific file, init ROM, or what was it called? I can't even remember the name again. But when you get that image, you say init boot. So you select file on the top. You just select the file, you push it in, and then it fixes the file. Now, when the patch file that is coming out is the one that you use to flash your mobile. So, and you need to get into bootloader for that as well. So let's see if I wrote that down. Um, so, and my upstairs neighbor is, the elephant is just banging around as it usually goes. I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, some people just can't figure out how to walk. Um, Yeah, dong 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 dong. It just keeps on going. Terminal ADB reboot bootloader or mobile into okay. We have the little, and where's my it just remove the error things that you usually would use. Very annoying as it goes with all the programming madness of programmers that is just full of insanity. Okay, here, by the way, here's the manual to get into the recovery as well. Turn off mobile, hold up volume, plus turn on button. Count to around 7, and when you feel, blah, 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 so forward. Install ADB, connect ADB, reboot bootloader, plus push volume up to unlock, fast boot, reboot, get image unpack, payload, get boot dot image patch with Magus terminal install to. But this is Magus. This is not the other one. What was it called? It's like kernel SU. So, but it is a little of the same on kernel SU. So, see here, mobile, blah blah blah. What's the code for? So you boot ADB reboot bootloader. So you boot back to the bootloader, what that you already did beforehand. So you do the same thing whether you do it from the computer or the mobile thing where you have this Jaeger, or if you do it the physical way of pushing the turn off or turn on, volume up and all that, and wait the 7 seconds and all that. Anyway, you get into the bootloader and then you fast boot flash init boot kernel issue patch. This is the patch kernel issue thing. Whatever name you have in regards to that file, you need to be in the folder and you fix the command fast boot flash init underscore. Sorry, underscore, is that underscore boot? And then you flash it, and you can flash it a couple of times. Sometimes it's a good idea to do just a couple of times just to be sure. But you will know if you just do it once, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you just have to redo it again. But I remember like some Android phones where you needed to do it multiple times to get Android to actually do it. So it wouldn't do it the first time. You needed to do it a couple of times, and then it would work. In regards of some of these insanity things of Android. Um, and there you go. When you get into the system, you should be able to see that you have now. Um, oh, wait a minute. I didn't show you I didn't show the screen. My bad. Oh, here we go. So ADB reboot bootloader, or whatever way you want to get into. You just need to get into the bootloader. Fast boot flash init, this one. This is the one you need. Forget the other one. That's in regards to the boot. That's Magus. So you can see fast boot, flash boot, Magus. That's in regards to Magus. That's usually the boot. Flash boot, fast boot, flash init boot, kernel SU. That's the kernel SU. So that's the difference between those two. It's just the same command, just pretty much besides one flashing the boot, the other one flashing the init boot, okay? So there you go. And then when you turn it on, you can go into kernel SU and your mobile should now be flashed. This took me a good amount of days to figure out. I tried to do whatever I could in regards to Magus, but Magus just I couldn't work. I tried to go deeper in the levels to try to find a RAM disk and all that. I couldn't find the RAM disk at all. It might not be there at all anymore, even if the system for the RAM disk is still there. So it shows a zero where there should actually have been some numbers. It shows the zero, so it's still showing that there is a possibility of a RAM disk, but it's just not there. But apparently Google seems to have gone away from that because Google is evil and they don't want us to, they do not want us to have it too easy. So they're doing everything they can to corrupt, as they have for many, 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 many years, because Google is absolutely not for the users. They are for to tyrannize us, to make it hard for us to like all these things are stupid. It shouldn't be necessary. We should just be able to root the phone by actually at the minimum you just need to go into the administrator menu or whatever, push one button, and there you go. It should be rooted. That's how easy it should be at the minimum. It could also just be rooted out of the box. But at the very minimum, you shouldn't be needing to do all these things. You should just be able to go in and boom, 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 bang. There we go. It should be so easy. You shouldn't be needing to sit and waste, so much energy and time to try to root a mobile. It's pretty good, ginger soda pops. I guess these are only from Denmark or something like that, but this like wonderful ginger soda pop. Yeah. But yeah, um, but there you go, rooted phone. Now after the rooting, of course, you will hit into many other issues. Like I've tried to get my data, my programs from this one over to the other one, but but I'm having some issues as of course. Now the stupidity of me was that I actually sat and I was kind of readying up a little in regards to the tank phone and all that. So I ended up updating this phone and getting a little back to the rooting things and all that. So what I did was to update this a couple of times and root it again, because you need to redo the things as it goes to just get into it again because I can't remember everything, far from it. And every time I need to get into, I need to relearn, because I just can't remember. So I did already fix this to the newest version now after having done some different things and all that, because I found out that there actually was some new updates for it and all that. So I did this one and all that, which might have been stupid because now I have problems in regards of fixing the applications to backup. So maybe the new versions or something like that is doing something bad. I don't know. At the very least, it doesn't seem to back up the applications. So the tool that I use to back up applications that I thought I could use maybe doesn't work anymore. So and I finally actually figured out in regards to the layout. It was a really terrible layout, I think, but I actually kind of began to understand the layout, right? So now that I finally began to understand the layout of the program, now it doesn't work. It's like, yeah. But I had this application that Google Play Store and all that was attacking. I actually paid for it, called Alpha Backup. This is the application, and it's trying to say that it's preparing and backing up and all that, but the backup folder doesn't show anything. And sometimes it just runs through all the applications, like very, very quick, so it doesn't work. So you have to, you know, restart the mobile sometimes, and sometimes it would work, sometimes not, and all that. But now there seems to be where it just totally doesn't want to work, even if it seems to be doing the right thing. Like now, it's going through the applications. It's very slow. It takes a lot of time. But then when you look in the folder where it should be, it's just empty. Well, there's some folders, but that's all. There's some folders and no data. It's like what is going on with that? I don't know, but I still need to figure, see if I can make a backup, or and then move the applications to the other mobile. Also, one of the games that I actually paid for many years ago, it could actually be found on the other phone, even if it's rooted. But there's something that is saying that, and actually, I didn't actually check that actually, but maybe it still has issues. I mean, I don't know why, but at least this phone, the Tank. No, sorry, this is the Tank Three Pro. Sorry, Tank Four. The other one was the Tank Three. Okay. Anyway, so let's see it. Oh yeah. So actually, so this phone, this game that I had, I can't find it on Play Store. It's not there. They say that apparently the game is not compatible with the phone or whatever. That's rubbish, of course. I ended up needing to download a pirate version of the game to actually have it working here, although not the newest version and all that. But like, you got to be kidding me. And I talked to the people in regards of, and they thought that maybe it was because it was, it seemed to suggest that maybe it was because it was rooted and all that. I'm not totally sure about that, but Now I have it. I have this phone rooted, and I can still find the game. Well, if I'm online, which of course I'm not. Also have some problems with getting internet working as well. But yeah, it seems like the devil goes haywire with these things, and of course you have a lot of, you know, the devil is clearly in the details in regard to things, you know. But let's try to turn off on the hotspot and turn on the Wi-Fi and see if it actually finds it. Okay, this time it actually worked. It found the internet very easily from the other phone. So this phone is connected to the other phone, which is connected to the mobile network. And now we go with all this nonsense in regards to Google nonsense. Get started, not now. Don't just give me all this pop up nonsense and all that. But if I search on Wreckfest, like a car game, I actually had another game as well that's like that could be interesting to try out on the what was that actually called? That actually download that as well, just to test it out. Maybe I can actually see it in the payment things, payment subscriptions, budget history. Maybe I should be able to find it here. There we go. Okay, view. Let's try to install it. This Rush Rally Origins. Let's try to install that. And it's interesting. Only 130 megabyte. That seems strange, you know. But anyway, it does find that. And if you search on Rec Feast, you know, Rec Feast. Now, this is the game that is not seen on the other mobile. So if you see here, like, this is Wreckfest. This is a game I bought to test things out, and and the first mobile I actually bought it for couldn't really run it. It was terrible to run it on the. It's many. I wonder if I can actually see when I actually paid for it. It's many years ago. Payment subscriptions, budget history. Let's see. It was actually not that long ago. I would have thought it was be. It's a little over 2 years. I would have thought it was actually further. You know, okay, 2 years ago, I guess. Interesting. I would have thought it was longer back. Double winnings. What is that? Actually, okay, interesting. That's weird. Okay, one hand clapping, air control. I paid for air control as well. Wow, that's interesting. Didn't know I paid for that application. I wonder why. I don't recall actually. Okay, anyway, as an ex-kernel manager, that's 2021. That's a wonderful application. You can probably get something else, but this is kernel where you can see the stats. You can change the CPU in regards of how its CPU governor is. You can change it to conservative if you want better. Depends in regards if you have some other things in regards of working, in regards of not down throttling, which I found out that some of the things that I used on the other mobile, again, against down throttling, so the mobile can keep on just running, yes, very fast. But that doesn't work on the Tank 4. There exist some other things that I will need to try out to see if I can find something that works. But apparently they have changed things that. But at the moment, I'm just trying to get the applications from one phone over to the other phone, right? And then the puzzle piece of fixing them all in the right folders and all that can take a couple of hours, I guess. Because that's how we couldn't just have something easy peasy from one to another. They tend to always change things. Just rubbish. Anyway, let's see here. What else did we have in regard? We could also try to this one, but I pretty much have fixed that. I don't think there's any more. Hmm. I guess it could be interesting to see how it is on the new mobile. But anyway, Wreckfest, Hot Lab League was pretty good. You know, We have Rush Rally Origins, but we also had this extra pack, which I really never really got into so much. But um, it didn't seem to activate inside the application, as far as I recall. But there's like a top-down, whatever. Of course, so many other things to do these days. So it's really mini motor racing. Apparently, it's way too boring in regards of way too easy peasy. So actually, but the device isn't compatible with this version. It's like, yeah, let me try it out and see if that is true or not, right? But you know, it's the typical thing. I wonder if it's probably not fixed as well on this phone. Then you need to have another phone and you need to download it, and I guess you need to have it rooted, and then you might be able to get the game out and move it over to another mobile, and then you might actually be able to run it. And even if it's not able to run it, if you can actually get the APK, you can do some emulation. I have some applications that I emulate, like I wanted to get some Bible application and all that. If you get the V phone OS, this little application here, you can actually run old Android applications. So if you have some old Android applications that you want to run, you can actually do that with this little thing. And just you fix an Android 7 version. It's free if you just want an Android 7, which is the perfect Android system, pretty much. And you go into these are different games that are, well, games, programs, whatever, that I have, like learning Greek, Hebrew, and all that. Some biblical Bibles and whatnot, and you can't just run them anymore on the system because they say, because Android, Google apparently can't make any backward compatibility. That would be too hard to do, apparently, right? Anyway, Sheep. This is one of the games that I wanted to try or play, but but I couldn't play it on the new mobile. I wanted to try it out in regards, so we want to have some biblical stuff and all that. And as you can see, well, it's pretty night in the game apparently, but it is working. There you go. So it's a little hard to see what is, because it's night, apparently nighttime. I don't know why it's nighttime. That's a setting where you can put it. If you're playing it at night, it will be night. If you're playing it in daylight, it will be daylight and all that. Apparently, it's just night in the game now. So, um, but yeah, it's working. You can also hear the sound. So it's still very hard to see anything. Maybe we can like, let's try that. Nah, it's too much light. But anyway, it works, and it's kind of boring, really. But it has a biblical theme, and you do have some biblical, um, you know, it's more like a time game where you do something, then you go out of it and wait for it and all that. And there's no internet connection. If you had internet connection, I think it would produce more in regards to the sheep than it doesn't, because it doesn't. It wants you to be on the internet for having the ability to do that. Whatever. Um, I see here. I see Alpha backup is still preparing things and saying it's backing up, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's still ongoing. It takes a long time to back up all the data. um, but it's not working. Even if it looks like it's working, it's not working. And I guess I will try to restart the mobile a couple of times to see if I can get it working, because I need the data from that mobile over to the other one, right? It's a typical bullshit game. I could have prepared that, I guess. Um, but yeah, apparently reckless racing tree. Apparently doesn't run on the newer mobile, so at least I can't try it out. Because Google don't allow me to at least try it out. They might say, well, it doesn't run on this system. Well, can I try it out? Maybe, because I actually paid for it, right? No, no, you can't. Because you pay for it, yeah, but we decide if you're allowed to try if this game works on your device. Really. This is the thing also with the Wreckfest and all that. If you go into Wreckfest here, you can see I could actually install it with this. Now, I don't know if it's because it doesn't see Magisk, or if there's just maybe it's just the tank tree. I don't know. Maybe tank tree just doesn't show up in regards of this game. I don't know. I don't recall if I tried downloading it after I rooted the phone and I couldn't find it and all that. So I don't know if it will actually be able to see it if you. But this other way of rooting should be harder for the system to actually know that it's rooted. Although you don't have the automatical activation of root either, which you have in Magisk, where Magisk just comes up and say, "Hey, um, this software wants root." So you need to do some more clicking games. Go into the application and give it give it the ability and all that. So that seems to be less of a. It seems to be more of the nonsense as it goes. More madness, more where you probably need to, if you have 200 apps or 200 apps, you probably need to sit and swipe, and all that bullshit that they do, wasting our time with. It's just, you just feel like maybe I should just throw everything out, because it just seems to be demonized. Everything just seems to be demonized. But anyway, on this phone, um, yeah, on the Tank 4, if I go look for that game again, which we just this year search, no, no, get back. Um, so of course you have want an APK or whatever of something that you have direct. I paid for the Hebrew thing as well. Disappeared from Android Play Store. I paid for it. I would like to have it again in regards to Hebrew letters. Where you just learn some Hebrew letters and Hebrew words. And it was fun. It had the fun factor. So but no, I can't find it anymore, and I don't think I have a backup of it anywhere. But that's why you would want your applications as APK or something of that nature, so you actually have physical copies of your data, of your programs, of physical, at least that you have the power to install and this and that. Um, that was a website. I can't remember what it was named. Can't remember if I think I did find it again. It was a pretty good website of Android applications. So maybe I can probably find it again if yeah. Anyway, let's see. Search. Payment subscriptions. I don't have any subscription nonsense license. All that crap. Breakfast. Here we go. See, and look at that. I guess you can't see it, but it gives me this yellow thing. This app is available only for other devices. What are you talking about? This is like a Tank 3 phone, and it's not available for the device. Are you kidding me? Like this heavy game, and I really wanted to try it on the Tank 3. Um, it's just rubbish. But the Tank 4 seems to have it available. And I think actually with the routing thing and all that, I think I actually succeeded in taking a backup. The problem is if you take a backup and you move it, Google have done a lot of bullshit and all that. So you can't just do that. because you don't have access, or the system don't have access to your own information. And that's like 4 gigabyte, nearly 4 gigabyte of information that needs to be downloaded after you download the application. The problem is you can only back up the installations. You get like 1 gigabyte of installation that you install, and then it needs to download nearly 4 gigabyte more information. The problem with that, of course, is that it won't allow it. Google will not allow it, even if you paid for the application. So it's just disgusting. I just, Google is just, you know. So I had to, get, I had to get a pirate version of it. Thank God we have some pirates out there. But anyway, app size 1.53 gigabyte, user data 4.64 gigabyte. That's over 6 gigabyte, pretty much. So, but the problem is it only takes the app size, and then it needs to download further information for the game itself. But it cannot do that. Um, so even if you take a backup from another mobile, you cannot. I can't back up the user data. Well, could maybe not, um, because Google locked it down, so you couldn't just the applications didn't have access to it. You have to have a rooted phone, but the rooted phone couldn't install So it was like a lose-lose situation, pretty much. But I might be able to back it up now. I think I might have a backup on the Tank 4 now. And kind of, sadly, this backup application was attacked by Google. Uh, Here we go with one of these satanic issues. Now the mouse is flying all around. The same issue where you see it also on the Google, where the Google phone goes mad. I don't know. It's like, let's try to. Anyway, okay. Maybe it was just a mouse thing and all, but there's some weird things going on these devices, Android devices. I recorded some of it in one of the last videos where the mobile just went absolutely haywire. Also have a recorded thing of something. It seems like very demonic that things tend to do weird things. It seems like the mobile gets its own life. It seems some kind of AI thing, that just where it just do things. But there's some kind of AI processing NPU file, which apparently is double the amount of NPU file compared to the other device. I'm not sure what they use it for, in regards of the AI thing. Or I don't know. I don't know what they're really using it for, but the double so as much on this apparently. The Tank 4 seems to have double the amount. If you look into burnout, that's a tool I use to check in regards if it's down throttling and all that. I still have that issue. God, come on. I need to get some glue and fix that, see if I can fix it without ruining be a little careful. But, you have this NPU down here. And the NPU apparently seems to get double the amount of frames per second than the other one. I don't know why they use frames per second to calculating that, but I don't know. So you have the standard CPU, you have the GPU, that's the graphical processing unit, and then you have the NPU that stands for something I don't know. But this is a tool you can test in regards to throttling, how much the or how much the mobile throttles, and you can have some applications that I have something working for the Android or the Tank 3, but it doesn't work on the Tank 4. So I also found an update for it, but that crashes. Apparently, that crashes the mobile totally. So that doesn't work very good. So um, let me see. What did I want to do in regards of? I also have something called Neo Backup that should be open source, but I haven't really the new interface, new this and new that and all that. So I would have liked to have alpha backup thing, but I think they probably don't exist anymore. I think this is the last version they released, and they gave it out for free. But Google apparently uh, kick them off. Good applications apparently just is not allowed. And if they can't get any money or anything like that, um, the application of course goes dead. So yeah. Oh yeah. Well, okay. Let's see here. So by the way, so this is how it looks in regards of. So it begins to test the top one, the middle, and it's a free application. You can get it on Google Store. It's what was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but it's a wonderful little. Well, I let it run, until we. But anyway, it just you can maybe do like this. Oh, can we like? Is that good? Okay. Ah, okay. So this is how it looks. Something of that nature. So first, it tests the first one, the white, then the blue, and then the orange. I think, yeah. So the first one is the processor, the second is the GPU, and the third one is the NPU. Now, now we'll just test the CPU. But I guess the mobile is actually doing things already, so maybe it's not totally. No, I don't think actually I'm doing much. No, but anyway, so it runs the thing in regards of it. And you can see how much it down throttles. And you don't want that. You don't want the mobile to down throttle. So it's a way to figure out if something is working in regards of not down throttling the device. I think it's the best application for testing that. Um, but yeah, you can also see how much watts it's using and all that. Anyway, what was I doing in regards to the other application or the other tank tree? I can't remember. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to show the. Yeah, I need to install. Let's see here. But I can't do that, right? I don't have the. I'm not sure where the micro SD card is in regards to which mobile it is in. Let's check if there's any micro SD card in here. It doesn't find anyone. Um, yeah, it actually is a micro SD card. That's the 2 GB micro SD card. It just doesn't see it. I don't know why. Let's try to take it out and take it in again. There's these micro SD cards. They're really terrible in regards of being found. I think it found it this time, so we'll just give it a little time and then that'll be nice. But yeah, lots of issues. Thinking. We are Ravens. Okay. Oh, that's in regards to the Telegram channel. Oh yeah. That's. Oh, I'm just forgetting what I. Okay, I need to have the older Termux version because the new Termux version do I don't know why, but it doesn't work as it should. So we're going to into applications here and get the old version installed. Mobile, no. Root Magisk. But now the problem is I have one for the Magisk and I also have the other one and sometimes something works with one device and doesn't work with another device and all that. So it's so I just installing Termods version 2.0, but it does sometimes in the beginning it does restart sometimes, but it's only in the beginning that it's usually restarting. Whereas I had other issues with the 3.1 version, just breaking the whole thing, totally. So I need to test things further in regards to that because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, of course. Um, Now, as you can see, in regards to you can see the white thing. It goes down, it's down throttling. The GPU is running around. 75%, and you have the NPU that is running around 75. Oh, sorry, it's actually the graphic is 58%, the NPU is 74%, and the CPU is 39. That's the top. So the white, so the that's the of course that's the CPU that you kind of and the graphics that you kind of want to have up there, but it's not. So even if you have like an Android phone, it has lots of power and all that. A lot of these Android phones down throttles very very quickly. So even if you have like a huge amount of power behind it, even if in theory you have a great possibility of doing doing a lot with it, the problem is they down throttle. A lot of these phones can't get rid of the heat, and because they can't get rid of the heat, they down throttle. Like if you lived in a cool place, where it's cold and all that, they would be able to do more, keep themselves cool and all that. um but yeah, it's a big problem because of down throttling. And what you can do is that you can pretty much take these down throttling things off. Now the device will get hotter, but that's you might not have a problem with that. The Tang tree usually gets into issues around 50 Celsius in regards of the battery. When the battery gets to around 50 Celsius, it begins to have issues and all that. But here we go. Here we have the numbers. And here's the problem. It only gets around 56. No, sorry, that's not the number we want to look at. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's the 56. Let's see, yeah. See if I, yeah. Per performance under throttling, 56%. So you have nearly half the speed of the mobile. So let's say the mobile starts out with 100% in a game or something graphical, then it down throttles, and it's also in regards to benchmark of different things and all that. So yeah, so what you end up with, performance on the throttling is right there, you know. So I have like 56 and all that. It's right there. It's very hard to see on the. Can't even see it's wide compared to the others. It seems on the screen, but it is wide. You want you want it up here. You want the down throttling to be above 85. You want it to be number one, and that's possible. It is possible. I don't know if I have the other phone in regards to it. Depending on the last performance test and all that. But let's see here. But no, the last performance test was also like you can see here, it's running right there. So here's the top, and then we go down, down, down right there. It gets around 60% here, depending in regards to it goes up a little, up and down and all that in regards to these tests and all that, depending on different things. But what you want is to have it at the top, and it's possible because you want to get all the juice from the device, you know, as much as possible. You don't want it to go lower. Now we'll use a little more energy and all that, but who cares? Well, depending on you know, I do remember when I was out trying to get the 850 and all that. I kind of tried to do whatever I could to make it not use energy and all that. But usually I wouldn't care at all. But actually, I got into the mode of saving energy, saving all the energy that I could possibly do because I was getting low on energy. So yeah, let's see here. Okay, so it needs to restart before I Well, actually, it seems to actually be there already. But as far as I know, it needs to restart to activate it. So, um, but at the moment, I'm fixing some, I'm fixing some video encoding on the mobile. You can actually do that. You can actually fix your videos on your mobile to AV1, and you can save space. You can save a lot of space actually. So if there's a point where if you have more than enough energy for the phone and you want to compress your video files, you can do that. So while you don't use the mobile, for example, or maybe you're charging it, um, you could charge and fix it to some video files. Now, depending on, I guess, the size of the video files and all that, it can take a good amount of hours. But if you have like 7 hours and all that, I haven't checked how long it actually takes for every single file and all that. It would actually be nice to actually see some stats on that. Um, but you can do that and you can save a lot of space. If you have some camera video files and all that, you could do it with some of them and just go to sleep while it does its thing and maybe charges and all that. If you're on a hostel or something like that and you have 7 hours, again, I'm not entirely sure how long it takes for one file and all that. You would kind of need to figure that out, because some of the times it can take a long, long, long time. Um, but yeah, I'm not totally sure in regards to how many hours. Like let's say if you could do 1 hour video or something like that of recording, and you might be able to save a good amount of space. Yeah, Anyway, so but it does take some time. Let's see, 2.3 frames. So let's say 30 frames per second, and it does 2.3 frames. Uh, then you could make the calculation as see. Yeah, it's not the fastest and all that for sure, but it's possible. Okay, this one runs 9.9 frames per second, so that would be 1/3. So let's see, we have an hour. That would be 3 hours for it to do it for an hour, I guess. It takes the time for sure. It's not like Speedy Gonzales. I don't know where that term is coming from, but it is possible on your Android phone. So if you have an Android phone you don't use for anything, you can install Termux, install FFmpeg, and take your video files over into a folder, do the right code and all that. I do have that on my phone as well. And you can just fix it and have it charging and let it do its thing. Forget about it for a week or a month. And then just come back to it and see how far it's gone. If it's finished. So you could pretty much you could do a lot of video encoding, with that. And if you have multiple mobiles, you could just take multiple mobiles, fix them up with different files, get start it up with a specific folder where you have 100 videos or maybe even more, and just set it to do its thing, and then just forget about it. Take the next mobile, some other files, do the same thing again, and so forward. You could have multiple mobiles doing its thing while you're doing other things. Uh, and then after a month, maybe you have maybe half the size of video files, maybe even more. If it's recorded video files, it can really, really compress them a lot. So that's nice. Also, if you want them on the website or something like that. Anyway, there we go. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see, where did we come to? Well, I guess we can't restart that mode. Still fixing those two video files, so we'll let it run with that. But that, of course, makes the CPUs go up. And sadly, you can't really see much, but it's pretty much maximized the CPUs. and usually it uses around 2 to 3 processors per instance. So on the mobile, you know 3 instances is pretty much where it begins to dive down. So you can see if you put 3 instances, it will dive down in regards to process using processors. It usually uses on the mobile, I guess, 2.5. Um, it goes a little up and down and all that, but you can get around 2 point. Actually, I can show you. Well, I guess I can't because it's really hard to see. Top slash hub dot t. I think it is. Let's see here. No, so top maybe h. I'm gonna try that. There we go. Okay, let's see. Move it down to the left. Okay. Yeah. So the first instance is running now 307, 344, 263, 262, and 341. So it's running around, it's a little different here and there, but 200, 250 to 350 is the first instance. The second instance is a little, 226, 202, but both of them are over 200. But if you fix another instance, it will it will dive under 200 pretty much, all three, so you can really see, okay, it begins to struggle at that point. And of course it also heats up the device and all that. If you do other things and all that, you can seriously heat up the device for sure and all that. But again, if you have an old mobile, let's say it has 4 CPUs, you can just fix one instance and let it run, and just let it run in the background. Late something and put some energy to it and just let it run. If you're not using the device anyway, right? You have the possibility of making it crunch some numbers. So it's still usable for something, right? I haven't really, I did do it a little with some other things and all that. Pretty much stopped with it, but it's a possibility for sure. If you want to set it up and you just fix the first one, and then okay, then that's running. Then fix the next one and the next one, and you could just give a good amount of video files and put it over there and just let it run. Um, I'm not sure how many video files I still have left and all that, because at some point, of course, all your video files will pretty much be AV1, and then of course you have less AV1 files around, and then it becomes less of an issue in regards of having multiple devices running and crunching the numbers. But yeah, so I don't think I can show you, or maybe I can. See those numbers, 400. It's a little hard to see, but right, right there, right there. That's the numbers. Um, this is for Termox. Uh, so I have three, well, more than three, but three are running. 3 instances are running, and Termox is wonderful in regards of do things that you might you know and this thing in regards of crunching the video files or the numbers here is wonderful. And it's a great idea in regards of using some mobiles that just copy a good amount of data. You could pretty much just copy everything over, and if it's just you could just set it and walk away from it, and then it will just do its thing, and you can do whatever else things, or you can divide the data up in for one mobile to another mobile to a third mobile. Just fix the data over, make it run. Make first one run, and then the second one run, and the third. It's a possibility. If you don't have the computing power and the computers to do it or something, and even if you have like a big computer and all that, it can take a long, long time anyway. So it's just a way to where you can reuse your old devices for something. Actually make them useful somewhat again, for something. So yeah. Anyway, And the mobiles don't use that much energy either, so that's a win-win situation. Like many of these huge new computers, like it's just incredible powerhouses and all that. Yeah, I'm thinking, why didn't it actually finish it? Didn't I? Maybe I didn't set it to actually do it while I was sleeping. I guess I didn't do that. Yeah, because it was pegging the backup and all that, but that didn't really work. So I need to restart the device and see if I can get it actually to working. It's like it's saying it's preparing these different files and all that, and then it just doesn't do anything apparently. It seems to be using a lot of energy in regards of preparing 119 applications, but it doesn't save any one of them. I don't know why. It's just using a lot of time, but it's not really doing anything. So this is the nonsense of things as it usually goes. So, but at least second stage of rooting the device has been completed. So what was I actually doing on this mobile actually? Was I doing, oh yeah, I was doing the, okay, it's done with that. Okay, yeah, great. 56.2%. So yeah, not really. So um, the problem is I don't have the application, and I don't have the application app. I don't have Telegram installed either. If I could get, yeah, if I kind of could get the things that I have over on the other one, I could begin to move forward on getting, getting all the things and all that. I also did some benchmark things from Geekbench. Uh, the problem with Geekbench is that you need internet to use it, which I find is disgusting. I don't know why they would need, internet, but if you don't have internet on it, it won't start the process of testing the device. Now, what I do like with the Tank 4 is that it's a lighter. That's nice. Um, it's not like it's a huge, gigantic amount of less, but it does seem to do something that it's lighter. Although, of course, I actually should actually charge it as well. I guess we charge it to 100%, and it's slower in regards of charging as well. I don't know in regards of this 100 charging capability, because it doesn't really do it that long. And of course, not surprised that it doesn't do it as long as the other one, of course, because it has less battery thing and all that. Uh, but it is able to do some time in regards of high degree of charging, but it's not for that long. It's not really for that long. So I'm not sure in regards of the charging device. In regards of, I should probably have gotten a 66 charging whatever with it. I'm not entirely sure. But sadly, also these chargers is not able to do that. As far as I can see, they're able to do 60 watts without down throttling. But if you get above that, it begins to at some source to just to break, to down throttle, and then of course this laptop um, stops charging. Wow, I'm really fat. Man boobs. Oh my, incredible. Yeah. Yeah. But there you go. Maybe I should make it like a tank channel on Telegram. English. Yeah. See if anyone wanna come over to it. I think I tried to make for the. Well, who knows? I could make a thing in regards to rooting the device, but I pretty much have been censored and on so many levels and all that, so very annoying. But I could make like a tank rooting root tank, you um, to help on that, in English, not Spanish. That would be nice. Oh well, let's see here. Actually, let's see if we can actually make it. See here. Telegram. Let's see here. We have the Raven. Oh yeah, we have the Raven. The problem is Magisk and kernel issue are kind of different, and although some say that it should work for, I guess, both of them. I don't know, but clearly there's some issues. So, and of course, going from one mobile to another mobile and changing the infrastructure of the system can, of course, also change things. The thing that I've used on the Tank Tree to make it go around the the down throttling doesn't work on the Tank 4. So, and I don't know if it's because it doesn't have Magisk or if it's because of kernel SU. But anyway, the one I've used on the Tank Tree is Termot. Oh, sorry, yeah, Termot, yeah, right there, Termot. Yeah, camera apparently is not better. Should probably have made it when it was live, but Termot's 2.0. The 3.1 apparently doesn't work. I don't know why. Uh, so there's some different modules. I haven't tested them and all that further, but there are other, you know, there's other modules. This Termot 2.0 was working pretty good on this, and I guess I don't really need to find anything else for this mobile. But the other one, I need to find something that works. But you can also see it doesn't fall off or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't do that without actually, you know, flicking in my finger here. So this one is much better. This little guy here, it's much better. It's also a little more. It sticks a little more to the fingers. So yeah. So this is clearly a better one than the other one. But anyway, so yeah, Termots by We Are Ravens. Uh, it says work around disable thermal throttling mod. Script will search for thermal config and disable it systemless. And if you turn that on, now sometimes it will restart at the beginning, but after it runs the system, it won't restart. So it's only in the beginning that it actually tends to do that. So sometimes you turn it on, it boots, it restarts, and yeah, okay, it's something to live with. It's not a biggie. It's stable after that. So it's only in the beginning it sometimes do that with the version 2.0, but the version 3.1 just stalls, seems to be stalling the whole thing. I was like, oh, they have fixed the boot loot, thing and all that, but no, apparently it just doesn't work at all. So I have Viber for Android reverse. That seems to be working on both mobiles in regards of better sound. Volume key off. That's something, if it breaks, you can push the volume down key 4 times or something like that, and it will restart and turn off all the modules. That's a great lifesaver. It's kind of nice if you're testing, models, and models might m- m- mod, modules might. Sorry, my speech is impaired. Sadly, I don't know why. I usually could just speak without any issues. Modules are can make the mobile crash and not work anymore. So having the volume key off is a great help to, at least it seems I've saved this a couple of times by just being able to push the volume down key a couple of times. And that will that will turn off all the modules in Magisk on the Tank 3 phone. So but yeah, I had a module that I actually want to install because I updated it, and when I updated it stopped working, and because of it's attached to other things and all that, and then it just stopped working. So see if we can get into the application here and the root Magisk, see if I can get it working again. There we go. Okay. So that's of course also a problem in regards to updates, and this and that can make different. So it's like, if it works, don't fix it, right? If something works, don't fix it. Just don't. You don't need to update it. Just if it works, right? Because many times if you update something, it can break. That tends to be a lot of the things today. Okay, let's see here. That's a bad score. I don't know why it gave me such a bad score. Again, you need to run it a couple of times to get kind of a. But yeah, in the beginning, it tends to give me bad scores. I'm not sure, like 1,364 and 2,693. But it will give you better scores if you run it a couple of times. And but that's of course, I mean, that's a benchmarking on Android is in itself is kind of, you have to, it can move up, and there's so many factors that let's try again. Anyway, so there we go. I think we pretty much got it sorted. So first step, if we're going to put it into steps, first step that your goal is to unlock the bootloader. So just set it as a goal, because like it will take some time to do these things. And you might need to search around and all that. I'll see if I can fix my notes into the video and all that, if anyone wants all the notes that I have. I haven't finished it or anything like that, and there's some of the things that is probably not, where I'm still messing around with it, and maybe I have no clue what it is. But I think I'll fix all the notes down down there if I can have it all. I'm not sure if it allows me to do it all. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's see if we can fix the whole thing. Copy paste, and there we go. Let's see. No. Oh, come on. Only 5,000 words. I don't know. It's like, that's a good question. How many words do I have here? I don't know. Let's try to take half of it. So yeah, that's better than nothing, right? I nearly it nearly does. It does a lot of it for sure. Uh, what is that? Well, it came as expected. Um, oh, there's also a whole message in regards of as it came as expected. I can take that off. Where's that? I don't see that in the file. I don't know what is going on here. Let's try again. Seems to be a whole letter in it, that I don't remember. Okay, let's try again. Oh, come on. Like, who programming these things? Okay, let's try that. Still over 5,000. Okay, that's a good question. Maybe I can make a message back, onto the video. Not sure how much they allow in regards to that. Still over 5,000. Yeah, I'm not sure then what really to. Hmm, that's a problem. I don't know. Oh yeah, I wanted to do the see Telegram. See if we can maybe make a new group, new contacts. Let's see how we do a new group. Let's cover three. See here, I don't have that. No, no back. New group, contact call settings, new group. Okay. Uh, mhm. Backward here. No. Okay. Enter group name. I think we can change that right afterwards. So 8849 tank phones. Tank phones, something of that nature. Yeah, I guess it could also call it Unify. Uni, say yeah, Unify something. Unihertz. I do like the other name better in regards of the 8849, but see here, unihertz. There we go. Still not sure what's the difference is in regards to the two companies. Okay, I see a unihertz 8849 tank phones English. It's like English, maybe English channel. So unihertz 8849. Oh, 8849 tank phones English. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Tank phones English. Unihertz 8849 tank phone. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, we need a photo, I guess, as well. Okay. I made another channel that didn't really. That was for another phone. I'm not sure if the channel. I guess if the channel is not around. Um, could also have fixed the link. I don't know if you can change the name of the channel. Oh yeah, I should be able to change the channel name. Unihertz 8849 tank phone set photo description. Um, set photo. Whatever. Do we have something in regards of it? Well, I guess we have this one. I guess. Yeah, great. Can we make it smaller? Okay. A little smaller. Hmm. It's better than nothing, I guess. Public group. There we go. Tank. Tank. Phones. Tank. Username must have. Tank Pro. Tank phones. Yeah. I could also just call it like 8849 phones. I do like to use the 8849. That's pretty good. Okay, anyway, let's see. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, the group is made. I need to better picture in regards to the tank tree and all that, but Unihertz 8849 tank phones. English. Great. Now I just need someone to join it, I guess. I maybe I could fix my notes over into it at least so it's there. So that would be a way to maybe copy all the things here. And I can't copy paste them all. Well, oh wait. Oh yeah, we do have actually. There we go. Nice. Yeah, that's true. That's nice. There we go. Oh yeah, great. Oh, awesome. All the information. Great. hmm So we have all the information on the Telegram. So let's put the Telegram link into it, I guess. And see here, Telegram. If you want to see all the notes, go. Uh, let's see what it's called. Mhm. I don't know if we're going to change the link at some point, but t.me tank phones. Yeah, I think that's fine. I could also call it tank phone. No, tank phones is fine, I guess. Tank phones. There we go. So the information is all my notes is on the tank phones group. Is if anyone wants all the notes at the moment, at least if no one is talking and all that, it's right there. There we go. Okay, we have like apparently I don't see that in the copy paste in the file. Uh, Apparently it should have. Okay, it's because it has this long thing here at the bottom. Okay, here I got to it. Okay. Ah, yeah, I should make it like a concentrated thing, but it's very, very hard. It becomes very complicated very fast. All these weird things that you need to do and all that becomes very, very complicated. So yeah, I think that's fine. Let's see here if we could mobile phone. Let's see, 88. But I think I don't. My channel and all that has been. I guess I could use some phone numbers with some other accounts and see if I could get into some of these groups and um yeah, I did have another phone number um in one of the other phones. I could make a new account, go in and tell people if they want some routing help. Could be a way. This is like a unihertz and 88. And what they actually call them. 88 technology. Sorry, can't access this chat because you've been banned by an admin. Yeah. Unihertz and 8849 rocket phone. Uh-huh. 88 unihertz. Okay. Let's see, we could also like fix them together. Unihertz 8849. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. Oh well, it is what it is, and probably no one is going to see this video anyway. And I'm pretty much banned on writing on groups on Facebook, so um, I don't know if there's anything on X in regards to it. Let's see, Tank Tree, English Tank Tree, see, Tank Tree Pro. Someone is called Tank Tree Pro here. I'm not sure if it's anything to do with the mobile. No, it doesn't look like it. So 88 Mm-hmm. Let's try that. Yeah, I've been talking too much, this benchmark test still doesn't do very good. Oh well. Well, there we go. Again, it took me a good amount of time to do it and figure out the things and all that. I don't know if there's other. There was something called a patch, but I'm not sure what a patch is. What is a patch? And it would be interesting to figure out if the modules are working on the other Android, if I install kernel instead of Magisk, I guess if there comes another update or something like that, which might come around for the phone, um, then I guess I can just update and install this other thing. I guess I could also do it now in regards of just fixing. I don't know. We'll see. But it could be nice to see if some of the modules, which if the modules that I use, if they would still work with kernel, the kernel issue. Because if that's the case, then I know it's not the kernel thing that is the issue. Um, but because of the difference of, even if it's Android 14 and all that, it has a different way of building the system apparently. Then I would know if it was the difference between the Macis and the kernel, or just because it's the background that is different. So that would be nice. Um, Now, and some people suggest it's a better routing way as well, because if you want to hide things, but the problem is it doesn't have the automatical thing of turning off on the routing, so you need to go into the application and turn it on manually instead of. So that's kind of another hasting point. And if you have 200 apps, I don't know, you probably will need to do the swiping game a lot. It's just rubbish. Oh yeah. But yeah, there you go. That was a little in regards to that. So you don't, hopefully, do not need to get into the issues that I got into. We have my websites. Oh my, and my chair that is complaining that I'm too fat. It's this 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 thing is not worth much in regards to the chair. It's pretty much broken totally because I'm way too fat. It's incredible. When you get fat, you find out a lot of things kind of breaks, when when you and when you have a big fat guy. Oh well, I've also done some encoding on the computer. If you guys want to see that, let's see, share the entire screen here. So this is my computer, my laptop, running 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16 CPUs. Now it actually has more than that, but you can either go lower and higher in megahertz or have more CPUs. And I don't really like to have more CPUs. I think I'd rather have it smaller. It can also give you some bonuses as well. But here you can see the terminal in regards to the CPU, how much is being used by the different instances. And depending in regards to what kind of file it is and all that, you have differences in regards to how many CPUs is being used. Usually it's around 300, I guess, around three CPUs, I guess, around that. I think three and a half maybe. Again, it's not too, it usually doesn't do that good in regards to multi-core. So that's why you want to run multiple instances, because it can only. But this one is seemingly running like nearly 5 CPUs, pretty much up and down. So that's pretty good. The rest of them is less solid. But anyway, here we go with the data here. And there's some issues here apparently. Not sure what that. Okay, move, add some not found. Invalid data found, processing input and all that. No. No idea, but anyway, so this one we can take away. This one is finished, it seems. Oh, that wasn't so good. I guess we'll just keep it like that. But it's a little hard to go up and down. But yeah, it seems to be finished. So I have the places where these are finished and all that. I can look into that. Okay. Or this one, let's move that over here. And this one, let's move that over there. Or maybe over here. So we have like, well, we can see there's a difference, yeah, between them. So we have these four instances now running. That's three instances as far as I can see. So one, two, three. Well, what is the fourth? Oh, the fourth one is the Brave, apparently. Oh, okay, that's in regards to recording and all that, I guess. Okay. So we have three instances running. That's pretty good, I guess. And you will see this one runs 2.1 frames, this one 3.4 frames, and this one 6.2 frames. So yeah, if we like take a little here, like this, you can kind of see. All right, there we go. And it has something in regards to duplicates and drops and all that. Not entirely sure why that. They talk about a little in regards of going up and down, and I don't really know the whole thing in regards to that, but oh, these are the live videos from Facebook. Okay. Um, because Facebook took all the videos and all that, you needed to download them, and if you didn't download them, they would be deleted and all that. So, and I don't really know if there's anything of interest, really. Probably not. But anyway, so well, that's one thing I would like to find the goat. I know I made a video on the goat, so in regards to the goat becoming a dolphin. That's a classic. I haven't been able to find the. Maybe I have an image on it as well in regards to my mobiles, taking a screenshot of it. I don't know. But yeah, that's how it looks, and you can do this on your mobile as well. And I have some code for this as well. Over here, I think. Yeah, video. I have this one. This is like where it skips the duplicates, but yeah, really this one is the main one I have on the mobile right here. Let's fix that up so you can see it. So this is the code that you can use on the mobile, but you need to install FFmpeg, or FFmpeg, yeah. So after you install FFmpeg, you just go to the folder where you have your videos and you drop that in. This is the best settings that I've been able to find. You could maybe fine tune it a little more. That's something in regards to maybe some sharpness that could be inserted. I didn't further investigate in regards to that, but you might be able to fix some sharpness further, because it smooths a lot of things out. So if you put some sharpness as well into it, and you might still be able to keep it at the lower level in regards of the size. So, but I haven't really tested it. I think my main video that I tested a lot of things, I kind of deleted it. That might not have been so wise. But that was taking care of a specific issue that I found out about. So lag in frames 48 I put in, and that fixed the issue. So that's the maximum you can do in regards to that. So, but the more compression you do, the more softness you also get in it. And apparently you should be able to actually fix some sharpness into it and get some of those details back. But whatever, you know, it is what it is. It does a pretty good job, and it's a pretty good beginning. So if anyone want to use it, please do. It's pretty good. I do wonder if I can fix this to the guys in the, if there's this AOM thing, where I could fix it. Who knows? Anyway, there's a lot of things in regards of this and that and all that. Oh yeah, maybe actually also save this. What do we have in regards of? Okay, we just moved in regards to that. Okay, save. Yeah. Okay. Bum. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Now, again, doing these things, as you can see, it takes a long, long, long time. It will run for multiple days sometimes. Let's see the two others. Let's see, 1,422 minutes. You divide that by 60 minutes or 60, and you get how many hours it has taken. Let's see here. So we take the office here. This one. It's like 1,422 divided by 60. That's 23 hours, nearly a full day. This one, which apparently have some issues I need to look into, but that's also taking nearly 2,000. Wasn't that the video? We got to see. What video is that? Film 8V. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I'm getting some of these errors and all that, but whatever. It is what it is. There's some weird things going on that that you need to kind of sort out afterwards and figure out, I guess, um, what is going on. But anyway, it is what it is. If I lose something, I just lose something. Whatever. It's an ongoing game in regards to these things. So yeah. Um, but yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, all the notes here that is found on this screen here is found on the Telegram. So you can go to Telegram and take a look. There's a lot of notes. Tank 4 Pro help notes. Okay, I wanted to make like a Tank 4 like the Tank 3 here in regards to things here. Let's see here, like this, and battery, projector. Um, yeah, well, I could actually like do like this copy, and but we have the micro SD cards in regards to what there is out there. I don't know if some micro SD cards might be better than others in regards of not corrupting. It's just every they just tend to corrupt all the time. I don't know if it's SanDisk or if it's just a standard thing with these things that they just corrupt all the time. I don't know. It's a possibility that it's just made like that they just corrupt all the time. It's just weird because if that was the case, I don't think they would have become popular in the past. It's just weird. Anyway, we have review. Let's see here. Okay, so we say buy phone. Here we go. There we go. We'll take this one and fix that. Well, the review. I haven't found a good review of the Tank 4. By the way, we want to fix this one as well. Boom. And review buy phone. Manual. That's not the manual of the. I don't know if maybe I can actually find the Tank 4 manual on that level. If anyone want to read the manual or something like that, that's the manual for the. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, where do I find the Tank 4 Pro user manual? I think I might find it on the Unihertz web page. Um, but I'm not entirely sure. Unihertz. Let's see here. Home. I think it was kind of that website that I kind of found it, but not sure. Let's see here. Search on Tank 4 Pro. Like long, long time. Oh, come on. It's just searching instead of the website. Didn't we have like a website search? There we go. Okay. Tank 4 Pro. Let's see. What? You don't have the Tank 4? Tank 3 Pro? Okay. Maybe they don't have the tank full. As far as I know, that was like the manual on that web page. Oh, give me a break with the pop up. Hmm. No, I don't see any manual. Uh, oh well, maybe it's on the 8849 web page. That's a possibility, I guess. Go. Um, no, tank full. And that's the standard tank full. Like what graphical? I don't remember in regards to the Korean. Yeah, it has like only 66-watt fast charge. Well, that doesn't really matter much in regards to it. But I think that it's actually still the Dimensity 7000. There was something in regards to the screen was actually less illuminous. I don't know. It well, 12 gigabytes should be more than enough. Really, 12 gigabyte is a lot. So maybe it's not too bad of a phone actually. Um, and 66-watt charger and all that. 12 gigabytes should be more than enough. Way more than enough, really, in regards to RAM. I don't think AMOLED, but I think that was something in regards to the screen being less able to do. I think it was a little different screen that they had on, but it's actually nice that it does less resolution. Really, it's not too bad. So I'm not entirely. There was something in regards to that I kind of didn't really, but yeah. And we don't have infrared. Well, I don't really need infrared anyway. So, but there was something that kind of stirred me off in regards to it. I guess the megahertz is lower maybe than the standard four of those. So I guess you might get a little more less speed on the CPU. I don't know, but it's how much difference really. I do wonder. Um, if you're rooted as well. Yeah, well, I guess it might be hardware locked into the CPU. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, but I don't really know what I really would use the you know the dark light in regards of the night vision camera. I haven't really have any use for that. So hmm. But yeah, in regards to the charging and all that, probably wouldn't be much of a difference because it goes down. The Pro goes down very quickly anyway. But where's the manual? That's a good question. Um, I don't know. I got the. Oh my, are they still that on regards to the COVID? There are also many cases in our area of long COVID as well as the recurrence of existing illnesses after vaccine. Oh, that's good. That's nice. Oh, that's actually. That's actually interesting. I was actually writing in the chat. Okay, okay, interesting. I don't recall. Maybe I just maybe I just did the without actually realizing that I was in the chat. Okay, okay. Anyway, I can write to them. By the way, I got it rooted. I guess you heard about it, but so I'm still testing. I am still testing things out. If you guys want, I made a Telegram channel with Channel with all my notes. Let's see here. Let's see here. Now I was like T.me. Not ME. Tank phones. There we go. Great. English channel. English channel. There we go. English channel. There we go. See here. Let's see if anyone comes over. Open Telegram, and we have the Telegram here, and we have all the notes, which I still need to update and sort out. This guy made a very, pretty good, well, pretty nice review of the Tank 3 Pro. So, oh yeah. Anyway, great so far, so good. Still didn't find the manual. That was the manual thing I was looking for. Okay. See a Tank 4 Pro manual. Maybe they actually have in the manuals have a further manual. Tank Pro manual PDF. Let's see if we can find something. Tank 3 Pro user manual. Tank Pro user manual. The user manual for the blah 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 from the 8849 store. Can you help me? Can you help me to track it down? Track it down. Because I can't find the link myself. There we go. Use the direct link to the Tank 4 Pro user manual available on there. There we go. Let's try that out. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Yep. User manual 1.0 unihertz. Great. So we found the manual apparently, so that's good. So let's fix that in here. Boom. Wonderful. So review, we don't have a review yet, Yeah. Manual Tank 4 Pro information. Factory installed. So that was in regards of fan app. Okay. Had the fan app. Okay. Well, we can delete that. I can't remember what it was actually factory installed with, It should be the one that is already now installed, but I can't remember. User app data insane clicking game in a that doesn't matter anymore because now we have it, Okay, let's move that away. Battery should be pretty much less than. It should probably be half. So around 40 watt hours. Haven't really. Theory. It should be around let's see here 5,000 maybe 5,006 5,000 something. Let's just fix some numbers in to around 55 watts or something like that. I don't know. It should be around half of it, So around 90. We haven't tested that. Should probably be around 50 watt hours, I would think. Yeah, just a guess. Probably 47. Regards of a guess. Battery data always proclaim the watts of the battery. Yeah, there we go. Projector 720. 720p. Haven't really been running it, Haven't tested the radio yet. Not tested it yet. Not tested it yet. Okay. Everything takes time. Also, please add a way to calibrate the sensors of the phone. What sensors it took me? Oh, that was in regards of a different guy writing, I guess. Um, Not sure what that is really. Uh, calibrating the sensors. Okay. Fastboot Magist patch. Fastboot Magist patch. Okay, so fastboot, that's one of the ways using kernel issue, which patches the kernel directly, but needs the kernel source. Okay, we can delete that for this exact Tank 4 Pro. Okay, we can delete that. Okay. Well, it came quickly. That's my, first initial review, sort of. Um, Fast boot, probably have that in another place in regards up here. So this is probably something I can delete. But like, it doesn't seem to be any order of this. It just seems very, yeah, very, 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 MTK driver. That's in regards of firmware flashing. I guess we can put that close to the, firmware. Manuals is kind of rubbish, false information or confusion, not helping and a waste of time. ADB sideload 2025 04. That's the sideload way. Uh-huh. I don't know. Maybe I should do the. It just seems like. Uh, I guess of changing the fast boots from A to B probably is not really a problem anyway. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! What happened here? There we go. Put that over here. ADB flash boot. Install ADB. Connect mobile. Uh, where's the information on the? Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. The tank root. Oh, there. No, right there. Okay, flash boot, Mac is good. That was in regards of booting that, but that doesn't work with the. Doesn't work with it anymore. Apparently, I'm not sure why. So I guess it will be harder to also fix a Magisk thing here. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually not command for. Okay, well, anyway. So, tank root guide, Reddit, and all these different guides for routing and all that. Mobile information and test enter. And we had the other phone dial thing in regards of the. Where did I put that? Oh, why is it so? Tank 4 Pro help. We can delete that at least. Okay. Something in regards of turn. This one seems to be in regards to the subject above. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's the same code in regards to calibrating sensors, apparently. I need to check that in regards to it. Also added an easier way to calibrate the sensors. So, yeah, I didn't really write down if it's from the Tank 3 or Tank 4. In a call to get the calibration option, once you calibrate the function, the phone probably all functions that phone promises run smoothly. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let's try the. Let's see. Yeah. Let's try to fix that code in. See what we get. Phone. Contact. Phone. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Star. Star. 3377. Okay, we got into a menu. MTK log, JGPS, gravity calibration, distance calibration, smart PA Cali B, I guess. Single test, aging test. Let's try the aging test. Sub camera. Click the need for the test item and then click. I'll just start it all. So now it's apparently testing things, I guess. The camera and all that. I don't know. Okay. I was testing the front camera apparently. I don't know if you guys wanna see it, but well, I guess. Okay. Well, I guess it's testing different speakers as well. Okay. Um, Stop dialing. Stop. There we go. So it's running through the different tests. I don't know. It's still doing its thing. Apparently. Well, it's a little hard to. But yeah, I guess it's going to do something or whatever. Now it's running through this thing again. So I don't know how long it will actually do that. It seems to do the same thing again. I don't know. And it should be like an age test. I haven't really tried. Apparently, there's also some calibration that one can do in it as well. Um, so I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. But maybe I should make like two to help me. Maybe I should make like a secondary file for the Tang 4. That seems like a pretty good idea, I guess. So if you just open, but there's a lot of things that is the same. Um, but of course, in regards to Magisk and all that, let's see here if we have. Okay, here we have. Well, couldn't it just copy the? Apparently not. It's just apparently we're not able to do that. Okay. I'm still running the Chinese thing. Okay, let's see here. I will fix the cancel. Okay, save as. So I'll save as in regards of Tang 4. I'll fix that. Oh, come on. Tang 4 Pro. Maybe I can actually fix it forward together like this. Save. There we go. Yeah, maybe I should also fix this in regards to the small save. There we go. You could also like this one, Pro. Tank. I'm not sure if they actually fix it with capital letters or not, but Tank for Pro. Yeah, but at least let's make it a little smaller. Delete this one. I wonder how long it's going to run this test. Maybe it's just something that's just going to run until it stops. Um, I don't know. So, anyway, so we have two. We'll fix these together here. Still kind of too big information. Let's actually make the files even smaller in regards of save as, and then just make them into info right there. Save, and let's make the other file as well. Um, Save as, and fix that into info instead of information. Info. There we go. There we go. Much better. Just a lot smaller. And then the tank four here. I guess it's some kind of Chinese or something like that. But it just keeps on going. Apparently, 5 minutes. So I guess it's kind of a. Yeah, I thought it would be. Which one is this? Exit, cancel, or OK? I don't know. Oh, I still. Okay, let's see here. So let's copy this over to the new file here. And so we have the Tank 4 Pro notes, and we have the so we just get a little less text in each file, you know. So projector review, battery, projector resolution 120p, no, not 107. That's just perfect. Tank 3 review, buy phone Tank 3 Pro. So like Tank 3 Pro help notes, yeah. Review, buy phone Tank 3 Pro. Yeah, well, do I have the buy for the? Yeah, I have that. Great. Review. I don't have a review. Actually, I could fix the review up here to further condense. I don't know. In regards to review, YouTube. I could actually fix it. Let's just have it there. But you could fix it down. Okay. Anyway, information, battery, projector, resolution, micro SD card. But then I need to have the data to two places pretty much. I don't know. Okay, now it's been running for 7 minutes. Okay, let's say escape. Okay, and then what? So then it goes to the next test or what? I guess. Or is this the same? I think this is probably the same test. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe one just needs to let it run like for 20 minutes or something like that. I really don't know. Video and speaker test. That would be the video and receiver, vibrator, mic and receive, main camera, sub camera, EMFC, RAM. Let's try the RAM thing and see what happens if we just take the RAM start. Let's see. Okay, that's a kind of another kind of test. Current RAM. Okay. Aging test passed. Oh, okay. So you put up different things and then it runs through it. Video and speaker in regards to how long the last test run. Okay. Stop testing, many pages. And then just say pass. Okay. So yeah, it does seem like it's just probably need to run for a longer period of time. Let's try to fix the other test here. Sub camera. Let's see start. And then it begins to run something. I don't know what it is, but I guess it's another kind of test, you know. I don't know if you need to do something to it, but I wonder how many micro SD 2 terabyte cards exist these days. If there's other, you know, other things in regards to it. Let's see, images. Hmm. AGI. There's still the AGI. Of course, in regards of the speed of them and how good they work, Lexa apparently has made a 2 terabyte card as well. So maybe there's the question is in regards to the speeds and all that. Let's see, maybe ChatGPT can help me. Mhm. Um, yeah, but yeah, in regards to the SanDisk thing, does seems to at least corrupt a lot. A SanDisk Extreme Pro 2 terabyte, up to 250 megabyte, and write speed 150 megabyte. But again, they quickly become hot, so they quickly down throttle. And we have the AGI Supremes Pro. How many? Any others? Okay, sweep the internet for every single 2 terabyte card made to this date. Oh, my nose. I'm speaking too much. It's blocking. SanDisk Extreme, Micro, blah, blah, blah. SanDisk Pro, AGI Supreme, Team Pro, Lenovo 2 terabyte. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's just I guess they're not really being used that much these days in regards to micro SD cards. So there doesn't seem to be that many tests either. I don't even know if you really need a 2 terabyte card. Really, it's like it seems to get to a point where maybe it's getting a little too much in regards to data. You don't want to have that much data anyway, right? That's I guess it's nice for backing up files. Um, but you want to condense things. Okay, 6.3 frames per second. That's still okay. No, that's done. Okay. So media, so 0.2. Oh, by the way, if you want to see how much you can save in regards of data space and all that, I guess I can show you that as well. And this is something you can do on the mobiles. So if you have a lot of videos on the mobiles, you can just try to do one video and see how it goes. Anyway, what you do is um, let's see, this one, for example, take the copy that, fix it over here, fix it in. So these are the files that should have been made in this one. So let's see here, properties, 1.4 gigabyte. Okay, and we'll check these that is made. Properties. So well, that's 20 files. So there seems to be some files that apparently is not made, but still the difference in the size is pretty big. But I still have some issues apparently with some videos in regards of making them into this format. So apparently it seems to have had some issues with three of them. That's where you can kind of do this, where I have this code, and I can go down here and find this code, which will then skip the ones that is already made, and I can go in here into the terminal and fix like this, and that should skip all the ones that is. Why is it saying this nonsense? Permission denied. Is the file corrupted or something like that? I don't know. Open as root. Let's try the root thing here. I don't know. Might be some problems with it. Oh, give me a break. Open as root. Stop the rubbish. Give me a break with it. There's a typical thing with these bullshit of can I open root here? Like getting a little tedious. Oh, there's no like give me a break. Yeah. Let's try to put this into ChatGPT, although it's the what. Anyway, let's try it anyway. See what it says. It says it's solid, but clearly not. It seems to be making some issues. Why is it like MJ2? Maybe it's the specific files that is. Okay, let's try. No, that's it. Oh, this is the wrong window. Let's try again here. Well, as usual, you get into things, right? Here we go. Okay. Error opening output part permission denied. It seems to be doing something totally wrong. I don't know why. It should work. But clearly it seems to not do what I expect it to do. So I'm not sure what is going on with that. Um, Try to copy some of it and see what ChatGPT says. There must be some kind of error. Um, ah, okay. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, fix it. Fix the whole script. Give me. Here's a fixed version. Thank you. Like incredible. So converted. It's like output converted. Dot. I don't. Sometimes I just don't get these nonsense. But apparently there's a thing up here. Where is it? I don't see it. Where's the issue? Oh, up here. No, I don't see any issue. Where do you see that issue? I don't get it. I mean, I said, where do you see out the? Okay, where's the out the? I don't see the out the even. Out the, here we go. C36. That's nothing in regards to that. In regards, I don't get it. Is it somewhere else in the code or something like that? I don't see it. I just don't see. Like, see here. Notice the slash. Okay, notice the slash. Yeah. Well, where is that? Is that the slash in? Notice the slash converted, which you can write to. So basically, ensure outlet to define. So avoid a leading in outlet. A leading outlet. That's no leading. Where do you see that output? A leading. Is that the one? I don't know. How's that leading? It must be another place in the script. Maybe let's just try the script that we have here. I guess try to run that. Here's a fixed version. Well, let's try it out. I guess. I don't know what's in regards of this nonsense. Anyway, let's try it out. Well, now it's fixing it to conversion. Now it's fixing it to a wrong folder. I was fixing it to, like, are you kidding me? Uh, I don't know. It's the typical thing of getting into issues that you don't understand while you're getting them. It's a complete mess. So the fix makes sure output is set to a writable path. For example, relative to current. Uh huh. Oh, it needs the dot. Is that what you're saying? So, like, I'm not sure what it's saying. Like, but of course it changes the path to something. Okay, okay, this one. Okay, So what I need is if I take this and have the output here, I need to put a dot in front of it or what, Um, see, bin, output, okay, output, okay, and I need to put a dot in that, dot converted. Okay, so we need to do it like this, I guess okay. Copy that and put this in here. Let's try that, I don't know why it wouldn't, just incredible. Okay, let's try again. All of a sudden you get a new issue, right? There we go. Let's try that. Okay. Yeah. So here we have where apparently it has those three things of issues. So three files apparently has issues that is not converted correctly. Everything else I think should be converted correctly, but apparently those three specific files, which I don't know what is at the moment, but it should say, so should be some coding in regards of it. Apparently have some issues in regards of doing it. But everything else seems to be finished, so that's so I just need to find out those three files and yeah. What's wrong with the last two here? Oh, there we go. Everything seems to be encoded on those levels. So the question is just what files is not encoded. So let's see if we can find the name. Maybe I can use ChatGPT. Okay, let's try it out. Let's see. Oh, A. No. Oh, what happened there? You could actually have two windows. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess you can, of course. What are the name of the three files? Okay. Go. Let's see if we can. There we go. The three files that fail to encode are. There we go. All three produce the error fails to initialize encoder invalid parameter additional information out of range. Is there a way to fix that? Is there a way to fix that? Some videos have strange time-based FPS that confuse the encoder. You can edit RS or your target frame rate to FFmpeg. I wonder what the others are actually set to if we run them in regards. Let's see here what we have. It's pretty much set to 29.92 frames. Let's try this one. What the world is that? Okay, let's see here. 29.705 frames. Oh, that's...
I think this is from the flood, but look at this. See all the layers? You see it many places.
Yeah.
These layers that, when you see when the evolutionists see all these layers, they're thinking, oh, it must be millions of years in regards to the layers. But I think it was from a worldwide flood. So this would probably be layer upon layer from the worldwide flood with them. Probably if the...
is that in Jerusalem? I wonder. I think I might be in Jerusalem talking about it. On the video quality should probably be pretty good, compared to the original. Yeah. Wow, look at that. That's pretty nice. Oh, that's in regards to. Oh, did I actually get on top? I guess. Wow. Is that Masada in the background? No, probably not. No, that's the other way around.
Masada, is that the way?
Oh, it is. Oh, look at that. Someone has.
Off there. And you can see the difference between this. This is like cork, you can see the layers, and it just splits apart. So anyway, I found a way up. I'm standing. Could probably get further up. Of course, it would be dangerous if there's hollow ground underneath. Anyway, I'll get down again later.
That's interesting. Okay. Let's see how much it squeezes it down. Maybe it's one of the files that wasn't taken over. I don't know. There's a lot of videos to see, I guess. What is that? Oh. Okay. Yeah, apparently some animals, I guess.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, well. There we go. Anyway, I guess I'll need to sort them out and all that. This one, is this still probably still running? 15, let's see. No, it actually should be done. But that's probably also some issues. We'll see. Easier to run the other videos apparently than the recorded ones from the mobiles, Apparently the mobiles gave me more issues, apparently. And also those videos from Facebook seems to be giving some, well, little different issues. Anyway. I think I'll stop it now. Well, anyway, if you guys need some help to do it or something like that, I'll see if the notes and all that. I'll try to see if I can. Actually, what's the bit recording here? Okay, we're still showing the screen. Okay, but it gets pretty complicated already in regards to, like, review, buy tank, buy phone tank 4 Pro. I could just actually have like buy phone, because we already know it's a it's the tank 4 Pro already, so review, buy phone, manual. You could also, buy, I guess. Could also set like unihertz up here. 8849 tank 4 Pro help notes, that would be fine to set that on. So we have the two companies. I just put like 3 in there. Go. So review, buy phone, Tank Pro phone. Yep. And this one, Tank 4 Pro, world's first 720 projector. Actually, we could take this off. There we go. Could also take this off. Great. And we can also take this one off. Great. Yeah. So we just have it a little compressed. In regards to the link, information, battery. I see information here. Information, it's factory installed, blah blah blah. It doesn't really. Oh, well, that's in regards to my own phone, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But fan app doesn't matter, I guess, anymore. Whether it's factory installed, fan app, user app data insane clicking game in A13EEA to get access. Well, I guess this is actually the 2004 0418. This is an older version, I guess. Yeah, get access. Totally locked by Google in Android 14. Well, at some point. So we have A13 have access to Android data, user data. A14 jails your data. Yeah, okay. Battery 47.75 watt hour. Theory, real watt hour used to charge from 0 to 100 around 95 watt hours. Battery data always proclaim the wire. There we go. It's still doing its weird test thing. I don't know in regards to this test. Okay. Gravity calibration. Uh huh. Place the phone on a level area. Okay. That's going to be problematic. I guess you can do it like that, maybe. Well, level area. I don't know. That's going to be difficult in regards of my phone here because I don't have the. Well, I guess maybe like this. That would be. Then you could use it for that, I guess, in regards of the leveling area. That would be calibrating in regards of that. I guess I could do that. You know, maybe like this. That's another way. This one, nope. It's going. It's a little weird here. Yeah. Distance calibration. Three steps for this operation. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, it works. So let's see. Reasons, contacts, voicemail, contacts, reasons. I didn't really write it in. I don't think I can write it into the contacts. It would be nice if I could just write the code into it, that we used in regards of. Uh, but as it goes, complication upon complication upon complication. 810.3377. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't write it in. I don't know if you can make like a contact, create new contact. Maybe I can do it like that. Uh, okay, first name, we'll just call it mobile information. Let's just try that. Mobile calibration, maybe calibrate, whatever. Mobile, whatever. Calibrate, just see if it works. So see it there. No. Okay. 3377. Okay, there we go. And okay, save. Mobile calibration saved. Okay, let's see it. Oh, I don't see it. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Let's see if it works. Let's try to call up. Mobile network not available. Nah, so it doesn't even understand that it's. Maybe if there's a mobile, maybe it will do it. But give me a break with the rubbish. Well, maybe I can try it on the other one here. See if that works. See if it can do it. Contacts plus, mobile calibration. Number. No. Why does it need that? Phone. Let's see here. 3377. Okay. Boom. But it won't allow me to do it. It wanna fix a country. Are you kidding me? I'm just getting so tired of these nonsense things. It needs to have a specific. I don't know, it's like, is there anything that could just be made easy peasy for people? No, no. Oh, it did save it, but okay. I think let's try. Well, it's actually calling it. But yeah, it's not working. You know, not working. Nope. Just shows that it's calling. So apparently that's not a way to do it. Apparently, I guess you just have to remember the code, and write it in. Guess there's no way around it with all this nonsense of complications. So you need dun 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 3377 boom 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 boom. There we go. We got it. We got in. Smart distance, J key, GPS thing, and all that. No idea in regards of these things. There's some Chinese, some American, some Russian numbering GPS thing. I don't know. Debug logger. I don't know. Waiting for starting logs. Okay, mobile log recording, modem log recording, network log recording. Oh, well, I don't think it's necessary because of that. Stop logs. Apparently, you can set some debug logging on the mobile phone. I guess. Yeah. Whatever. Um. Yep. Oh, we didn't charge the mobile either to the maximum. Um. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do. In regards to the charging. Doesn't seem to be that. You know fast as the tank fall, where you just you can feel there's less battery for sure, but can it run for a whole day? That's a good question. I can probably fix it pretty quick. Anyway, we have all the details here. Let's see here. uh Yeah, if I could kind of like do that, but that's I guess not totally. Like if I could have the same information in both files, but still have the difference of the variants. But yeah, if I'm not going to, if I can install the other one that is not Mac, is so I can kind of keep the same application, the same, keeping it as much as the same as possible. If I can't do Mac is got one phone, but I can do the other on both phones. Rather want to do that. Uh, and I still wanted to see if those things could actually run on the old phone, and if it's the different application that is the problem, or if it's the structure of the phone and all that. Yeah, it's like 250, right? 250 and 50, 250. 150 megabyte per second. Anyway, there we go. Applications, total commander application, must have application. As in regards of that's like applications for the SVP player, control brightness, contrast, and whatnot for videos for projector. That's pretty good. Helps a lot in regards of so it can be brighter without you needing to do things. We'll have more. No, I guess the soda pop is gone. Oh yeah. But yeah, is it possible to root the Tank 4 Pro? Absolutely. And now just don't use Magisk. Don't use Magisk. Yeah. Anyway, take care, all of you. May Jehovah be with you, and Yeshua be by you a most precious pearl, and a spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. Have a good one.